Hello, this is Nick from Prestman Auto, doing a video walkthrough of our 2023 F-250. So what I'm going to do is we're going to walk all the way around. We're going to look for any dents, any scratches, any kind of blemishes on the outside. Then we're going to go inside, go over some of the features, make sure everything's working properly. And then finally, we'll pop the hood and evaluate just a little bit in the engine bay, just for, good measure. So first impressions, the car is a little bit dirty, so we can thank Utah weather for that. It keeps dumping on us every other day, so that's awesome. That being said, I'm not seeing any kind of rock chips up here in the front, which is good because this is usually the place to be. The worst of it is right here. It's the only thing I can see. So little ding on a plastic piece. But other than that, looking very, very solid. So let's start going around, see if there's anything else that we can find. If there is, I'll be sure to stop, zoom in, make sure you get a good visual so you know everything going on. But tires on here are in great condition. You got loads of life left in those, so that's awesome. Looking good. You got a little coat on the door there. You do have a little bit of a scuff here on that plastic piece. So nothing super major, but good to know all the same. So it's dropping the trunk with the key fob here. Nice, nice. You got a plug over there. Prep for the fifth wheel, so that's pretty sweet. I gotta say, the Ford trucks, I don't know. You're gonna get some of my opinion in this video, but the Ford trucks are my favorite. My brother actually is on his, I think, third right now. I don't know, man. I like the design of them a lot better. The look, they just look a lot nicer. Additionally, features-wise and reliability-wise, I'll always go with the one that's been doing it the longest. And Ford has been doing this forever. So I found out the other day, the F-150 is apparently the best-selling vehicle of all time, which is kind of insane. But I'm not overly surprised. It's just crazy to hear who it is. So anyway, up here, no warning lights. I mean, you do have the seatbelt light on, but that's fair enough. I'm not wearing my seatbelt. Other than that, everything up here looks super, super solid. Let's cycle through a couple things just for good measure. General measurements. Oops. Cool, cool. All right, well, everything up here looks solid. So as far as interior features go, you have a lot of them. So I'm gonna go a little bit fast just for the sake of time, since this video isn't like 40 minutes long. But starting off, you're gonna have the cruise control up here, not the adaptive one. You're also going to have your seat presets. So you got one for you, one for your wife, and a third just for, good measure. Obviously, your side mirrors can extend, windows roll down, so all that basic stuff, pretty straightforward. But up here, you're gonna have your four-wheel drive as well as your trailering stuff. You're gonna have heated steering wheel, heated seats, and cooled seats, which I'm gonna opt for cooled seats at the moment. You got a butt ton of plugins, so congratulations. You're probably relatively familiar with most of this stuff since you own one already. But still, we're just gonna double check it all, make sure it's all good to go. Speaking of, let's check your audio real quick. Let's go to the radio. Okay, well. Nice, dude. You actually have way good speakers in here. What is this? This is the Bose. Oh, okay. That makes sense. But congrats, you got really good speakers. Other than that, you're going to have your garage door opener and stuff up here. A little mirror in the back there, and on and on. There is no shortage of things to play with here. So if there's anything that I miss or that you don't want me to go into a little bit more depth on, let me know. I'm happy to show you anything on here, but we'll keep it moving. As far as interior condition goes, it's really good. It sounds so stupid, but I'm not seeing any rips, any dents, any tears, any stains, any discoloration, or, I mean, really much of anything. So it looks awesome. Middle seat, same story, very, very good. So anyway, we can play with stuff all day, but for the sake of time, let's call that there. Let's pop the hood in the engine bay. We'll check that out real quick, and then that should be good for our video. So while we're out here, here's a quick look around some of our lot. So this is maybe, I don't know, like 30% of our cars. So we go down past this building quite a ways. We also have another building over there and our little small detail shop over here. But we sell more cars here than any independent dealer in the state. We've been around for 33 years, which you don't have to know that, but I feel like it's nice to know a little bit about who you're working with, you know? Anyway, so one last thing before we pop the hood, I want to show you real quick. So over here is where there was a little bit of scratching, as you saw in the previous photos that I sent your way. Sorry, man, talking's hard, I guess. But as you can tell, there is no remnants. It looks fantastic. So let's check on the other side real quick. So over here was where it needed a new door and a new side panel. And as you can tell, the door up here, all the seams line up perfectly. It's not weird or janky or anything. Same thing up front here. The seams up here also line up. The hood's popped, so it's going to be, I mean, down here a little bit. But other than that, the seams line up all correctly. There's no weird mishaps or anything, so everything looks fantastic. But let's take a quick look underneath. All right. So I don't know how mechanically inclined you are or aren't, but regardless of how much you know about cars, I always encourage everyone to at least take a look underneath the hood. The reason being, even if you don't know anything under here, you at least know what neglect looks like. So acid buildup around the battery, rust on the metal pieces, you know, if there's freaking cobwebs and junk on it, then that's a good indicator. But just general signs of neglect is what you're looking for. That being said, this looks great. Very, very well taken care of. There's really not even a whole lot of dust on it, so that's kind of impressive. But if you are mechanically inclined, we can go into a little bit more detail, but we'll keep this video pretty user-friendly for now. Suffice to say, when you pop the hood of an engine bay, this is exactly what you want to see. So if you have any other questions or there's something that I missed that you'd like me to show you, just let me know. I'm happy to show you anything on here. But for now, this is your new truck.